Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. The St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots are one win away from confirming their spot in the playoffs of the 2021 Hero Caribbean Premier League, following an impressive 6-wicket victory over the Jamaica Tallawahs at Warner Park on Wednesday night. Ricardo Chambers recaps the action.
The Jamaica Tallawahs taking on the unbeaten St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots in match 12 of the 2021 Hero Caribbean Premier League. The Patriots electing to field against the potentially dangerous Tallawahs batting lineup. Problem for the Tallawahs, though, is that several of their power hitters got starts, but none carried on. Kenar Lewis, the first to go for 13.
Went for it. Didn't quite get hold of it. A fielder under it. And takes the catch. A Republic fan classic catch from Shafeen Rutherford.
Chadwick Walton had to retire hurt on 26. 2 for 59 was the score at that stage. Carlos Brathwaite top scored with 27 from 16. And the captain, Rovman Powell, made 24 of 27 deliveries. The Tallawahs producing a competitive, even if not satisfactory, 166 for 8. Dwayne Bravo ended pick of the Patriots bowlers with 3 for 25. This was the third successive chase for the Patriots. Also, the same target they efficiently hunted down against the Amazon Warriors on Sunday. Evan Lewis getting them off to a fine start. The 29-year-old left-hander contributing 39 of 27 deliveries.
This is up. Who wants it? And taken comfortably. The danger man. Rovman Powell, the captain, gets rid of Evan Lewis.
The Patriots are 114 for 4 in the 15th over when Ravi Bopara was bowled for 18 by the otherwise expensive Fidel Edwards. At that stage, the match still seemed in the balance, but it quickly swung completely in the Patriots' favour with ferocious hitting from Shafeen Rutherford and Fabian Allen. The two sharing an unbeaten whirlwind 55 for the 5th wicket. Rutherford ending unbeaten on 50 from 26 deliveries, his third half-century of the season, while Allen smashed 30 from 12, including 2 4s and 3 6s.
What a way to finish it! Over extra cover! Oh, stunning!
The Tallawahs have now lost 2 of their 4, while the Patriots have 4 wins from as many matches.
I think we were 21 shot. You know, it's a pretty good wicket, but credit have to be given to the Patriots. I think they bowled very good in the last 5 overs or so.
Yeah, very proud of them. We got to give credit to all these guys. I know they are very talented. It's good for West Indies cricket to see the likes of Fabian doing his thing, Shafeen Rutherford, you know, Evan, Drakes. I'm very happy. It's a good team effort all around. I think, you know, we win the toss. We wanted to chase against this team, and I'm very happy with the team performance.
Well, the Patriots, they're definitely on a roll and there seems to be no stopping them, Lance. Of course, a really, really good performance. They're clean, like no blemish.
Yeah, flawless so far in the tournament for sure. Shafeen Rutherford has been absolutely outstanding, batting with a lot of composure, a lot of confidence as well, a lot of self-assurance in his game at the moment, as he has told the entire world in the post-match interviews that he came out of last season, Mariah, feeling that he had to do something significant to turn his form around and his fortunes around. And he was absolutely smashing. 3 half-centuries in 4 games so far. 4-0, flawless, without question, the best performing team in the tournament at the moment. And we have to remember that they won only 1 of their 10 games last year. They had 8 losses and there was a no result as well. So this is a complete turnaround and they're playing really well.
Definitely, and I'm happy that you mentioned Shafeen Rutherford because of course it is deserving of a mention. His performances are speaking for itself, especially when it's coming at a time when the Windies selectors, we have spoken on this show so many times about Windies and the batting flaws and the fact that our batting doesn't step up when we need it the most. With Shafeen Rutherford on such form, it's going to cause the selectors to rethink. Even if they had selected everybody that's going already, this is going to turn some heads.
Yeah, you know what? I think selectors, for the most part, tend to go on what they had seen in international cricket. So if there are performers who did reasonably well in the last T20 matches for the West Indies, I would think that their places may not be in that much of a jeopardy, even if they're struggling here in the CPL. But I don't know what the selectors are thinking, because at the moment in Rutherford, Kennard Lewis and Roston Chase, we have 3 batsmen who are among the top 6 run scorers so far in the CPL, and I don't know that any of these 3 men were on the front burner for selection for the West Indies to the T20 World Cup. So I think the selectors will have to consider very carefully what happens. We know that Chris Gale's place in the World Cup team has been a contentious issue for many people. We know the universe boss is on his best day, obviously a match winner and almost unstoppable, but he has played just 1 game so far. He has had a bit of an ankle injury, we're told, and there are some people who feel that Chris Gale, if he's struggling, he turns 42 later this month, shouldn't take the spot of a younger player. And if there are younger players who are playing well in the CPL, I think it will increase the momentum of discussion about Chris Gale and if in fact he should go to the World Cup. But at the moment, I believe that the selectors have him in the World Cup squad, and they'll have to consider very carefully what happens with these other players who are playing well in the CPL.
Well, what I will say is people can say what they want. It's really up to the selectors, so they will have their decision and they will stick to it. Well, earlier on Thursday, the St. Lucia Kings comprehensively defeated the Ghana Amazon Warriors by 51 runs. Led by Roston Chase's impressive 85 from 50 deliveries, the Kings posted 149 for 7 from their 20 overs. Romario Shepherd with 2 for 21 and Odin Smith 2 for 22 were the pick of the Amazon Warriors bowlers. Chasing 150 to win, the Warriors were bundled out for 98. Nicholas Pooran made 41 and Smith 31 not out. Javor Royal 3 for 19. Kesrick Williams 2 for 7 and Obed McCoy 2 for 19 were the main destroyers for the Kings. Let's hear from both captains, Pooran and Faf du Plessis.
We restrict them to 148, 149, but not happy with that bowling performance. And after getting 2 wickets in the first over, I felt that we bowled too much of bad outs. We keep speaking about bowling ball into the pitch, and we keep, giving free hits. Unacceptable and unhappy.
It feels good, obviously, to get a win now. We are 2 wins, so we're up in the table now. We were at the bottom, feeling a bit down about that, but obviously we're up in the table and feeling good about this convincing win.
So just a correction there, of course, Faf du Plessis was ill and Roston Chase did the press conference. So Lance, all that aside now, the Ghana Amazon Warriors, yesterday they were doing some heroic things against the Trinbago Knight Riders. Yeah. Today when I looked at them, 98 all out, I was wondering if it was the same Ghana Amazon Warriors that played.
Well, some of the commentators were wondering if they were tired from the
Super Over.
Yesterday morning Super Over and the sort of emotion that went into that result. But again, what happened in today's match is an illustration of how closely ranked these teams are, because the St. Lucia Kings had won just 1 of their 3 matches, and based on how the Ghana Amazon Warriors played against the TKR on Wednesday, most people would have had the Warriors as favourites to win the match, but they were beaten very, very badly. We spoke on the show yesterday, Mariah, that the St. Lucia Kings, even though they were bottom of the table along with the Barbados Royals, you can't count them out because they have shown that they can play match-winning cricket, and they displayed that today. Roston Chase was absolutely fabulous, and you can't count anyone out. As I said yesterday, the Barbados Royals are the only team at the moment that are playing really below the level that you would expect from a team with quality players in there. But outside of that, I think this tournament is still wide open. I say that even with the acceptance that the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots are without question the best playing team in the tournament at the moment.
And I think it brings into discussion the inconsistency that we've seen this CPL, because we can't even say that a team is, apart from the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, let me just put that one out there, like a team is on form. We can't say that because, Lance, today this team is doing heroic things, and then tomorrow we see the team and they're all out for 98. So I think, one of the thread throughout this CPL 2021 is inconsistency, and I also think it's because we're in the middle of a pandemic and these teams, got together very, very late before the CPL, and, bonding and gelling is a massive part of having a really good performance.
There are those who would think that you're being very kind, Mariah, because the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots also had the same kind of build-up that the other teams had, didn't they? And they're consistent.
You're right, Lance. You're right when you say that. But all I'm saying is not every team would be able to gel so quickly. So luckily, the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots were able to gel, in a quick manner, and they're doing what they're doing. But we're seeing the effects. Okay, so if we were to do make a conclusion, right, we'd look at most of the teams. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots is an anomaly. They're a separate, in a different category. We're talking about the rest of the teams, and we're seeing that they're suffering. So, Lance, big question for you. We spoke about, of course, Rutherford.
Yes.
Now the question is, do you think Ruston Chase, based on the 85, and not that alone, of course he's been performing throughout the CPL, can break into a West Indies side?
I think he can. Having said that, the selectors have shown the tendency to have Ruston Chase playing red ball cricket as opposed to white ball cricket, even more so T20 cricket. So I'm not sure what the odds are on him getting into the setup. But we know Ruston is a very good cricketer. He's a very good all-round cricketer. He bowls steadily and he can bat. And there's the feeling that because the West Indies batting lineup is so mercurial and unpredictable, someone like a Ruston Chase, who tends to be a bit more steady than some of the others, could be a good inclusion in the T20 World Cup squad. But the selectors will have to make their call. He looked really, really good today. If you're going to judge on what we saw today and what we have seen from him in the past as a cricketer, then I would suggest that he has a look in here. But I don't know what the selectors will do for Thursday's announcement.
But then, in these franchise cricket, our Windies players, they step up and they do the best. And once they put on that maroon, something happens.
Especially in a tournament.
Yeah, we don't see the best of them, and it really worries me, because then I would want to tell you, all right, I'm picking Romario Shepherd too, because what he did yesterday in that super over, he's been getting also 3 wickets every game. I would pick Romario Shepherd too, so I would pick my entire Windies squad from looking at the CPL performances.
Yeah, one of the issues that you have to face, though, when you are using a regional tournament or a domestic tournament to make decisions regarding a World Cup squad is the level. Because the CPL quality at the moment is not the highest, and the selectors will have to be careful not to read too much into some of these performances. Obviously, if a batsman is hitting the ball well and timing the ball well, you can deduce from that he's in good nick, and he's seeing the ball well, and he got his rhythm there. But when they step up from this level to international cricket, and you face some of the best cricketers in the world from India and England and Australia and so on, it is a different kettle of fish. And I think the selectors recognize that. So even though there are players at the moment doing well in the CPL, I think they would want to balance that against.
It would be smart.
Yeah, against the fact that the CPL is not World Cup cricket.
A whole different ball game, literally. Well, here are the standings heading into tonight's match between the Patriots and the Royals. The Patriots lead with maximum 8 points from 4 matches ahead of the Tallawahs, Knight Riders, Warriors and Kings, who all have 4 points, while the Barbados Royals are at the foot of the table on just 2 points. We are breaking from the party on Friday, and a reminder that the matches resume on Saturday. Joining on the discussion by telling us whether you think Sheffield Rutherford has done enough to earn a spot on the Windies team to the ICC T20 World Cup. Send us a voice note at number 876-564-7661 to be played later on the show in our interactive segment.